So it's Wednesday, December 27th, 2023, of the year 5784 in the Hebrew calendar. And I wanted to just give a situational update from Israel, because the mood here is weird. And why wouldn't it be? Isn't it weird that people are literally going on with their lives after October 7th and the like crazy and insane massacre that happened here, and the fact that tons of people are completely displaced from their homes, also from the south and also from the north of Israel, and yet still we get like notifications every single day that there's still tons of rocket fire. And like, I mean quite frankly, like I've never really been scared, like, because I do believe Hashem protects me with the Torah from keeping Shabbat. And you know, I have to say, I live in a Orthodox community where everyone's Shomrei Shabbat. And throughout this whole time, from the very beginning, from the very next Shabbat after October 7th, things were normal here. The children were out playing. We believe in Hashem. We believe that He protects us. And if we needed any kind of chizuk, any kind of strengthening in that, we saw on October 7th that the Torah protected, Shabbat protected. So it's a little bit absurd to be living in our reality today anyway, isn't it? I mean, look around us. Like, how is it not like, I mean, first of all, I would think like in Israel after October 7th, like we should all be shell-shocked. Like we should all just be like, I mean, it's absurd. It's like more than the mind can understand what happened there and how everyone's reacting and what's like, it's of course, they do it so quickly that now react. Don't stop and think, okay? Just like when Nebuchadnezzar was taking us away from the first temple. I forgot to finish this. Let's see, wait. Torah, Israel. And he said, or whoever it was taking captives out of, taking them exile. And he said, don't let the Jews stop by the side and cry when they're on their way to Babylon. Remember, like on the rivers of Babylon, when we sat down, we wept for Zion. Remember that psalm, that Tehillim? And just keep them moving. Don't let them take a second to cry out to their Hashem, to their God, Hashem, who we know His name. His name is, He gave His name to this line, to our holy line. We know His name. So when they cry out, when our enemies cry out their God, when they say, Wallahu Akbar, or whatever they say, it's not the same God. A lot of people think that Islam and the Jews, it's like okay to go into mosque and pray there because it's the same God. They're talking about the same God. No, they're not. They would have gotten His name. It would say they call Him by name. But they don't call Him by name. The Torah doesn't say Ishmael calls me also by name, and also the sons of Ishmael, and in the end times they will call me by name. No, He tells us at the end of time in Yeahayah 51, and before that in 48. I would highly recommend people read Yeahayah, which is Isaiah 51, 40, from 48 to 51, 52. Keep going. It's very, very, I think, very mechazek, very strengthening. Because people right now who don't believe in God and don't believe in the Torah and don't practice, I mean, I'm seeing some crazy things, and people are just hopeless. I think that's the word, and that's a terrible thing to be. I mean, that's one of the things I learned. You can't be hopeless, because that's not from the side of kedusha, meaning that's not even. There's nothing as no hope. No hope means, like hope in Hebrew is tikva, okay? And there's a psalm, a Tehillim, I think it's 27, where at the end he says, let not your, like, strength in Hashem fail you now. Whatever, be strengthened, have your heart be strong and hope in Hashem, that you'll have tikva beHashem. I should have gone and found. I didn't know I was going to say that Tehillim, but the problem is, because I do see a lot of people with no hope, and that's like a lie. It's a bit of that's a indicator of where you are with your emunah, meaning how much you believe in this and how much you trust in that. And all these things are going to test all this, every wacky thing that we're going through. I mean, now Iran is supposedly going to like attack us from Syria, and we're just waiting, and just many other things that like, okay, and people are still going to work, and people are still, like going to yoga class and trying to like, go to a bunch of funerals in between. Like, people are going to funerals every single day. Like, it's not normal. It's not a normal situation. So anyway, God tells us to go in Yeahayah, in Isaiah, go and look. I am, you know me by name. You know all my names. We know all his names that he gave us in the Torah. We are the nation that has his name. He is our God. He is God. He is the creator, and he will fight for us. So why are you not able to get out of bed? I mean, since October 7th, there literally are people, and those are people whose complete consciousness is in this reality. They're not trying to pretend it didn't happen like a lot of other people. When you, like, same thing with like death, you don't want to think that you're going to die one day, so we just don't like think about it. No problem. When opposite you should do. When you know you're going to die, what's going to happen to us after die? What happens after we die? Do we just die and that's it? Fade to black? Does something happen? Could it be that we're told what happens and why it's so important that we live our life in this world a certain way? That's our lineage. That's information from God who told us how to live, because we will die. We're all going to die. We're all going to die. Okay? Like, we just now have to understand what that means, okay? Because even if we die in Israel from a bunch of rockets and from everyone coming in Gog and Magog, because that's supposed to happen, there will be a World War III. That's part of the teachings. There will be a World War III. It is called Gog and Magog. And, it would be great if you learned it. God tells you over and over, come back and learn. And he says, you're only scared now because you haven't bothered to go back and learn your Torah and your history. And he says that, see where it is, it's in 48. He basically says, like, here it is. It's Isaiah 48:8. He says, you have neither heard, nor have you known, nor was your ear open to them from before. For I knew that you would deal very treacherously, and you have been called a rebel from birth. And it explains here in the commentary that you have that it would seem to be a new idea regarding the commandments. In the same vein, you have neither listened to the words of the prophets nor accepted knowledge of the Torah, nor did you open your ears to the covenant of blessings and curses that I made with you at Horeb. Thus Isaiah is chastising his people for removing the commandments of the Torah from their consciousness. Okay? And that's what we've done. I mean, to a certain extent, we've allowed ourselves to not be so machmir, not to be so stringent with Judaism, with our things that, and we're just 2 or 3 generations before us, they were way more stringent. There's no such thing as culturally Jewish and not believing. God is all we have. God is everything. Hu hamakom. He's literally everything. And not only would it benefit us in this absurd, crazy reality to recognize that and to know he's got it. It looks crazy right now, but he's in control. Like, just relax, and stop trying to will it a different way. Let's go with the flow a little bit, because it's hard and it's crazy. And by the way, our nervous systems. I'm gonna tell you something. Our nervous systems, like our collective nervous system, it's going crazy right now for a number of reasons. First of all, just in general, a lot of people cannot switch. There's a sympathetic nervous system and a parasympathetic. Okay, and this is the rest and relax part. Your parasympathetic nervous system, this is a fight or flight. Fight or flight. This is your panic response. And what that was there for in your nervous system, right, was if there was immediate danger, that your adrenaline goes up and that you like shoot into action and you're able to like exert a great amount of energy in a short amount of time. And what happens is in our crazy society in chaos, in a chaotic reality, when we're trying to normalize all the time and still go to your work and interact with family socially and friends, and like keep up the face and the facade on Instagram and TikTok and social media, how great your life is and how you've got it together and everything's totally fine. Like your nervous system is going out of whack. And what's happening, because instead of this, the sympathetic nervous system acting for with a lot of with a lot of strength over a short period of time, it's just acting like this over a long period of time, and it's making a lot of things happen. And our nervous systems are acted on by the outside. So this is part of the matrix control. Okay, what do you think chemtrails do? What do you think poisons in all of our food do? What do you think that all the vaccines are about? What do you think all their medicine is about? Where, yeah, sure, it will maybe band-aid and mask your symptom, but it won't cure you and it will cause other problems. And meanwhile, there's a whole different system over here. That's what it is. And a lot of these things, especially like Psalms or Tehillim, if you read Tehillim, even if you don't understand them, they're at a certain vibration. And I just know this because this is how I felt when I did it, because I was completely brainwashed in the matrix, whatever, didn't even believe in God just 6 years ago, okay? And now I just am working consciously. I'm going to trust. I get anxious a little bit too, but not for me. I'm not scared. And I'm not scared. Even if this whole, country blows up, I know that I looked into what happens after I die, and I've tried to live appropriately. I've come back, I've repented. I've tried to be as stringent as I can on all these things. Letting go of my ego, okay? So especially the thing like covering your hair and whatever, wearing long clothes and being modest, sign me up. Yes, fine. I think it's wrong to dress that way if you're a woman. And I see, why do I think it's wrong? I could care less. If God said, wear as little clothes as possible, well, I would have to work. I don't care what God tells me to do. I'm going to do it because I want to be close to him, because I believe in him, because I believe in that we've kept an unbroken chain of history here, and I know that something is not making sense to me over here in the year 2023. I mean, there's so many red flags about history, and we know, I read a book a long time ago, I think it's called Lies My Teachers Taught Me or something like that. So literally everything is almost a lie, and now the lies are coming out because that's what God says is going to happen, and then all the lies are going to come out. And we're all trying to figure out what's going on. And at the same time, just be a normal person. No, it's not happening, and it's breaking down here in Israel. People are rightfully exhausted, and just, I guess if they believed in the IDF and in that the world loved Israel because Israel is so progressive and so, free, it's so gay friendly and it's so anti-God that, like I'm sure it feels very bad to people who thought that the world would be with us, like, and the world would be like, I think that's a very hard place to be right now, because I mean, when I started understanding the Torah, I mean, you have to go through a certain amount of cognitive dissonance to just realize that, I mean, the only thing that does make sense is Judaism. And it's a shame. It's not just a shame. God tells you that you haven't even bothered to go and look. You just think you know what you know, and you know you're fine. And that's not correct. So God over and over, especially in Yeahayah, says, listen to me, look into your history, figure it out, and rely on Hashem, because then there is no feeling of hopelessness. We have hope in Hashem. I mean, you have to have the hope in Hashem. That's basic, minimum. And if anyone knows what this name means, Yeahayah, because some of the prophets, like Yirmiyahu and Nehemiah, their names mean something. One is like really look out, and the other one is to comfort. So I wondered, and I tried to look, but I didn't find anything. Maybe somebody knows what Yeahayah is supposed to tell us.